Hello again, everybody. Well, today we are back at the Chickamauga battlefield. Today we're going to be checking out something interesting. One of the people that was on the north side, by the name of Jacob Miller, had a little wound. He got shot in the head and, ironically, was left for dead, but he managed to survive and survive for many years afterwards. So we're going to go take a look at the area where it happened and talk a little bit about its history. So come on, guys, let's go take a look and have some fun today. Now, I have been here before, and if you haven't, I will set the link up below to show how big this place actually is. This is a pretty amazing park. It's over 8,000 acres, and it's just south of Chattanooga. So it's well worth it if you're into history, especially Civil War battle history, because a large battle happened here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go find, I believe it's called Brock Field, so I will see you in a minute. Well, the story starts here. September 19th and 20th of 1863 is when all these battles happened. Now, this is just a teeny little slice of how big this park actually is. And Jacob Miller, he was a private in the Union Army, and he had a bullet wound to the forehead. Now, we're going to walk to the end of this and walk around a little bit. There's no known precise area where he was, but all of the knowledge that I have read says near Brock Field. Well, this is Brock Field. And per his own words, he was left for dead when his company fell back from the position, and when he came to, he was at the rear of the Confederate line. And he got up, didn't want to become a prisoner, and he kind of hobbled off the battlefield. And I guess nobody noticed that he was a Yankee, because I guess he was just covered in blood and just awful looking. So he just kept walking, and he had to hold his eye open because he was getting some swelling, and he ended up having to lay down. Some people saw him and put him on a stretcher and carried him to a field hospital. And basically the first surgeons anyway, looked at him and said, you know, we're just going to make you comfortable. You're not going to make it. And so he got to sleep. Now, they thought that he was too wounded to be moved, so they wanted to leave him behind. They always thought that, well, you could be exchanged later if you survive. And he made up his mind that I'm not going to do that. So he got out of the tent, got behind some wagons, and basically just worked his way up the road. And they ended up taking him to Chattanooga. And he was laying with hundreds of other soldiers that were injured. And basically, they just kept on walking, and he ended up surviving. But many years later, he had a little bit of the shot fall out of his head, and a few years after that, a few lead pieces fell out. So the fact that he got up and was motivated was pretty amazing. But we're just going to take a look around here and see. Now, while we're walking through here, one of the most amazing things about the Chickamauga battlefield is, I want to say it was the first battlefield to be recognized and become part of the National Park System, and it is also where a huge amount of statues and decorations and whatnot are talking about different stuff. So, you know, I don't know if you can read that too well, but this talks about the battle here. And there's literally, I mean, you can see there's literally little pieces all over, and they're all supposed to show pretty close to where the surviving military officers and whatnot ran around, where the battle lines were and where specific locations were. Now, one nice thing, and I do not know if they will change this in the future, because the Park Service is restoring a lot of things, You will see a lot of these metal signs around the area. And the blue ones designate the Union soldiers. And then the gray and red ones designate Confederates. So it actually gives you very good visual aids, even if you can't read the signs, as to where the positions were. So let's go take a look and see what this other thing says, and then we'll walk over this way. And you can just see, I mean, this field isn't huge, but this entire 8,000 acres is just crisscrossed with trails, specific locations. You could literally spend, if you are a fan of this area for battles, you could literally spend days here trying to explore everything. There's just that much space. And again, it just shows these markers. We're going to go over here and just take a look. One of the interesting things too is you're in this entire area is, you know, there were a lot of families here. And the battle happened all around these families' houses. Now some fled, some stayed. So there were some fields around here, but while the whole area is beautiful, you kind of get this, haunted is the wrong word, but heavy feeling. It's just one of those places. You seem to always have a heavy feeling anytime you're near a great battle area. One can only imagine how all these skirmishes and how the battle was in this whole area. Of course, things have changed a little bit. Maybe there's more trees, maybe there's less. Who knows? And even walking out through the woods, you can still see the markers showing the different positions. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed our little look at the strange case of Jacob Miller. I'm off to go on some more journeys. Until then, why don't you go on some journeys of your own? We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.